Hi.
Hello.
Thank you everyone for joining us today. This is our very first Hang 10 episode. We're counting down 10 days to the new school year, and we're just going to do 10 minutes a day at 10 a.m. live, but you can watch it at any time because, of course, it's on YouTube for you. My name is Alicia DeCepola. I am the district's digital literacy and learning specialist, and I have a friend with me here today. This is
Hi, I'm Anthony Procopio. I'm actually the now the 7th grade school counselor at Lakeside Middle School.
Awesome. Thanks for being here, Anthony. So before we dive in with Anthony, Mr. Procopio is a special guest for a reason today, because I think he's probably going to cover one of the most important things we can talk about, especially with online learning, but truly at any time. I'm going to show you a few quick little things, and then I'm going to just kick it over to Anthony, and I have some questions for him. So I hope you're ready to answer my many questions.
Always.
So let me share my screen and show you guys a few quick little things. I wanted to tell you how you can get to your teacher's website, because you're going to be getting letters in the mail, or after August 31st, seeing the calendars in Infinite Campus, and you're going to see your teachers' names, and you can access all of their websites right from the school district's website. So if you go to millville.org, and I'm on my computer, but you can do this on your phone or tablet or wherever too. So I went to millville.org, and then I came to parents and students. There's a menu called Parents and Students. And then I'm going to find teacher websites. Now from here, I can pick my school. So let's say that I'm a student at Bacon Elementary. I can click on Bacon Elementary. And then on the left, there's a list of my teachers' names. So maybe Amanda DeVita is my teacher. I can click on her name and I can see her website. And then I know I have Kim O'Neill for gym. So I can go to my gym teacher, my physical education teacher's website, and I can go through and see all of my different teachers. And I'm sure they'll have things like their Google Classroom codes on there and whatnot. Another thing I wanted to mention before I start my Q&A with Mr. Procopio is we have been working all summer on this kind of hub of quick little tech tips and tools for the students and parents. So for example, there are very specific tools you'll be using this year to learn for 3rd through 12th grade, which is what this is geared toward. You guys will be using Google Classroom, and then the preschoolers to 2nd graders are using Seesaw. So we have things on here designed to help you navigate these things. So from day one, you might be joining Google Meet, which is like an online video meeting platform. So if you're unsure how to do that, you could simply come to Google Meet, and then there are videos and instructions to help you kind of navigate around this. There's also an entire website in Spanish if you need that translation. And if you're looking for another particular language, you can actually use Google Translate on the entire website if you need another one as well, or feel free to reach out to myself. And I would love to help you with that too, to make sure that you are prepared to learn virtually. With that being said, I'm going to get rid of my screen, and I'm going to ask my friend Mr. Procopio some questions. So you ready?
I am, and I'm actually going to share my screen right now as well,
Awesome.
Just so we can go through everything while we're talking.
So I asked Mr. Procopio to be here because this has been such a wild time. Like, I'm an adult, obviously, well, adultish, and I feel like I sometimes have a really hard time. Like, I feel like I'm more lonely now, and I'm just very stressed out, and like sometimes it just feels like it's kind of too much, or I might need a little bit of help. So I wanted to talk about like how a student can get some support during this time. Like, do they still have their guidance counselors right now?
Of course, and as a guidance counselor, one of my main focuses was to try and find ways to make sure that we can still have that same level of communication while we're virtual that we did while we were in school. So one of the biggest things that we did last year during the start of quarantine, and we've only progressed it since then, is we've actually made a counseling website. And it encompasses all of the things that are included within the counseling hub. So that includes help from your SACs as well as child study team. We want to try and make this as much of a holistic approach as possible. So how to access that is under that same Parents and Students tab under millville.org. The first tab is MPS School Counselor Info. And if you click on that, it'll actually bring you to our new counseling website. And what's nice with the counseling website is right from the homepage, as you said, to try and schedule something with your counselor. The very first thing here is to schedule a meeting. You can click with your counselor. And what that does, it'll bring you to a form. It's emailed to whichever counselor that you have. And it just has your name, your ID number, what school you are, the grade level, and how you want to be meet as well. So if you want to meet on the phone, email, Google Meets, we make ourselves available, whatever's easier for you. For reason or topic, again, this is confidential. You can put it down if you feel comfortable, because it's only going to be coming to the counselors. If not, you can just put would like to discuss when you speak in person, because we also understand that as well, because we want to make sure that we keep the confidentiality as much as, again, we would while we're in school. So this counselor request form is a surefire way to get in touch with a counselor if you need to speak with someone. But we've also taken, just like Alicia has said, where you can look at you can go and check out your teacher website. The counselors on this page as well have all developed their own individual Google Classrooms where you can sign up to be part of that classroom. Now, if you have a parent, if you're a parent, for example, and you want to be, and you're interested because you want to be involved in the Google Classroom, you too can get involved. We've had plenty of parents over the past 6 months that have joined our Google Classrooms that look for our updates, because we provide general grade level information, but we're also providing tips, tricks, and trainings throughout the week as well on how to keep organized, where to go if you do need help, the things that are going on in the world, and how to talk about them. So we do want to make sure that we have that. And that is a tab that we have on our website as well about COVID information, ways to talk to students about COVID, way to talk to your own children about it. And then for students as well, if you're watching this, there's also things for you that are written in the language that you can understand if you have questions yourselves about COVID that you want to look up. So we do have all of that as well.
Wow, that's helpful. I didn't even realize all this existed. That's awesome. So another thing I have a question about is, I mean, obviously we're a little bit stressed out because the new school year looks so different, but there's also a lot of other things happening in the world. And like, I think to myself, like, I know some of us maybe are losing our jobs or struggling with other things. Like, do you have information? Like, are there any local food banks? Are there other like outside places I can get more support for myself and my family?
Yeah, so right on the top of the website as well, there's a tab, Community Resources, that I'm going to click on now. And these community resources are focused for the broad spectrum of things. So what I want you to understand is if there is an emergency, if you have an emergency, student, parent, and it is a dire emergency, please call 911 right away. And then you can inform us as to what's going on afterwards if you need to. But what we also have on here as well are ways to help you get to the right direction. Just like Alicia said, if you're struggling with a loss of a job and you're looking for food banks, at the bottom of this page, we have a list of all of the local food banks in Atlantic County, Burlington, Camden, Cape May, Cumberland, Salem County, and Gloucester as well. So we have a list of all of those food banks. It has been updated recently. I zoomed out so you can get a better view of that. But we also have helplines and websites that are directed if you're having other social problems or other emotional issues. Second Floor, Perform Care, Robin's Nest, excuse me, the Suicide Prevention Hotline, how to report abuse if you feel that someone that is being abused or someone has told you that. All of these things are really, really important, and we want to make sure that you guys have the accessibility to that information in case you aren't able. If something happens over the weekend, later at night, trust me when I say we're getting your emails at all times, and we'll always be there to help with an emergency. But these are here in case you need to get in touch with someone right away about what's going on. All of this information we want to make sure is available to you.
Thanks. And I guess I just have one more question. Like, you talked about like maybe seeing things online. Like, is there something specifically to do if they see maybe other students using language that's like not appropriate, or do you have any recommendations for that?
Yeah, definitely. So if you see something inappropriate, whether it's in a chat, whether it's in a text, whether it's in a social media app, please, tell your parents, tell your counselor, especially if it's someone, if it happens within like a school chat, tell that teacher as well. The teachers are monitoring the chats, but sometimes there are things that slip through. Sometimes students direct message each other compared to using the chat themselves, because that is a functionality on it through Google Hangouts where you can talk to other people. But if something does come up and there is a severity to it and you're not sure what to do, always make sure you let someone know. You are not going to get in trouble for letting anyone know. If whoever you tell, again, much like I said before, confidentiality is involved. So no one will ever know that you were the person that came forward and said something, because we want to make sure that we protect your friendship and as well as, you know, the person you are. But at the same time, you could be helping a friend and you could be saving someone. So please do not be afraid to come forward with any information. If there's something that you're unsure of, you can contact any of the counselors, any of your teachers, vice principals, child study team, anyone within the building, and we will make sure that the information is dealt with and we get right to you right away if you have any problems or if you see any problems. So please feel free to come forward. Don't be afraid to ask for help. We're always here for you.
Thank you. I really appreciate you taking 10 minutes to talk to me today. And then I said this is day 1 of 10, so we've got 9 more days, and we're covering everything from joining a Google Classroom to submitting assignments on Google Classroom. We're going to try to walk you through it all and give you guys a helpful digital toolkit. And Mr. Procopio, will you come back tomorrow? Because I want to talk about getting organized.
I will be back tomorrow. We'll go over some stuff about getting organized, how to keep, you know, maybe put a template together for what works best for you during virtual schooling, as well as these could be tips and tricks that you can use moving forward when traditional school does start again. So we want to try and make sure that, you know, we're preparing you for virtual school, but it's also something and things that you can use moving forward as well.
Very cool. Thank you for being here, Mr. Procopio. I'll see you tomorrow.
And I have one quick question. I see something in the chat. As far as with Dry Run with Google Classrooms, parents, if you do have questions, we'll also put a link to the website that Alicia said in our counselor page. But at the bottom of the very first page of our counselor info sheet, there's also a how-to for parents on Google Classroom. It's a slideshow. It goes through that has pictures, it has things circled. So if you do have any questions, while you're there, we're going to have Alicia's website. I'll add it to ours, as well as we do have a slideshow at the bottom that you can click through in regards to how to use Google Classroom properly. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to either one of us.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I hope you enjoyed our little Hang 10 this week. It's Hang 12, but we will see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Thank you for being here. Stay safe.
Thanks, guys. Bye.